HSBC Sevens World Series kicks off later this month in Australia, with the same teams but a number of changes in the management. Only one of last season's top 6 coaches has retained his place, New Zealand's Gordon Titchens. And Ben Ryan is still on the scene. England's coach last season is now with Fiji.
Often I got asked the question by journalists and media, if it wasn't England, who would you like to coach? And I only have ever had one answer for that, and that's Fiji. So I'm very lucky that opportunity has now come, and I'm going to be part of Fiji's journey towards Rio. I honestly feel, not just within rugby but within sport, they've got the opportunity to inspire. And if I can be part of that, if I can help them on their journey to help fulfil their potential, then I'm all over it. It's going to be an incredibly exciting challenge, and I can't wait.
During his 7-year tenure, Ryan brought about a number of changes in the way the English game was organised.
I keep journals of every session and tournament that we go to, and looking back over 7 years ago, where it was a series of temporary fixes really to get a team on the field. We went from getting guys meeting at Heathrow Airport to a fully fledged professional outfit with a proper training base with world-class facilities. I was the only full-time member of the England staff up until 12 months ago, and now they've got 5 or 6, and that's a similar story around the world really. I'm very proud of developing that programme to the level it is now and the level it's going to go to under people like Simon Amell and Joe Lydon with England. I don't think sport in the modern game in the last 20 years has had as much changes as Rugby Sevens has had.
Ryan was the longest-serving England coach, winning 5 titles in the World Series, but last season proved the most frustrating of his time in charge.
It started off so badly. We had really good build-up going into the Gold Coast, and in Game 2 we had 4 season-ending injuries. It left us on the back foot. It actually probably took us 2 or 3 tournaments to gain any sort of parity of performance. We then had a renaissance in New Zealand. It's the longest period between tournaments going into Wellington, and that really helped us. We could really get some solid coaching and conditioning behind us, and to have New Zealand as our first pool game set a really nice goal for us to knock them over. That happened, and then we went on and won the title. From 2013, we're the number 2 or number 3 side in the world, and certainly for those last 4 tournaments, it's only New Zealand that have had a better record than us.
And it was New Zealand who denied England gold at the Sevens Rugby World Cup in Moscow, a tournament played in some of the worst weather conditions ever seen at a major sporting event.
We were the quickest team in the tournament. And although in the driving rain we beat Kenya, we would much prefer to have played in the dry and and take teams that way. And we got through that semi-final, and I think could have been a lot more if we'd converted some more of our chances against a very good Kenyan side. But the final, I'd love to have seen Dan and Matt and Marcus and those guys on a dry, flat surface in a World Cup final. But that wasn't to be, and they're the things you deal with as a coach.
And as things turned out, the World Cup was Ryan's last tournament in charge of England.
Every coach takes the weight of responsibility upon their own shoulders, and I'd done that all year. And ultimately, you're responsible for your programme and how you do things. And I think it was the right decision. Now, looking back at it, I feel as though it's the right time. I'm very proud of the setup England have got now, and I honestly think they're going to do some wonderful things over the next few years, and I'll be incredibly supportive about that. But for me personally, I wanted a fresh challenge. I wanted to broaden my horizons, and I hope that's what's going to happen in the future.